Hello my friends, my name is DC and today we're going to learn how to make flour tortillas. It's so easy, so simple. All you need is 5 ingredients, a little bit of time, and a can-do attitude, and you'll be eating homemade flour tortillas in no time. Ready to check out how? Watch the rest of the video. To make these flour tortillas, we're going to take 3 cups or 384 grams of all-purpose flour and add that to a large bowl. To the flour, we're going to add 2 teaspoons or 7.5 grams of baking powder and 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of kosher salt. Once the dry ingredients are added to the bowl, we're going to take a spoon or a whisk and mix them really well. We don't want any pockets of baking powder or salt in this mixture, so stir it long enough until everything is well combined. Once you've got your dry ingredients mixed together well, we're going to add 1/3 cup or 65 grams of shortening. Now I'm using Crisco here, but you can also use lard, and if you don't have the solid shortening, you can use something like vegetable oil or a cooking oil. Just make sure whatever oil that you use does not have a smell or a taste. We don't want that to come through in the final product. You also want to make sure you spend a whole long time making sure you get every last piece of shortening out of your measuring cup before you add it into the flour. Once that shortening is added into the bowl, we're going to take our hands or a pastry cutter if you don't want to touch it and just combine the shortening and the flour together. You just want to sort of squeeze that shortening together and break it up and distribute it equally through the flour mixture. You're sort of looking for like a crumb texture or sort of like a coarse mixture with a bunch of lumps in it. Once we've got all that shortening well incorporated, we're going to add 8 ounces or 237 milliliters of hot water. The water that I added was 150 degrees Fahrenheit or about 66 degrees Celsius. Then I'm just taking a spoon and I'm mixing that water in, trying to get as much of this dough to come together as possible. After I think that it's as good as I'm going to get with a spoon, man, it's time to get your hands in there and just work this dough and try to get all the extra flour off the sides of the bowl and from the bottom to mix together in one big lump. When that's done, we're just going to turn it out onto our surface and start kneading. Once we've got our dough turned out on our work surface, we just need to knead it for about 5 to 7 minutes. You can see the kneading process is pretty easy. We're just pushing the dough forward, folding it back on itself, turning it a little bit, and repeating that process over and over again. During the kneading process, the dough is going to get really smooth and elastic, and that's exactly what we want. An elastic dough makes the tortillas very flexible, and they don't break when you bend them. This recipe should make about 10 flour tortillas, and the dough ball should weigh somewhere around 690 grams. So that means you need to create 10 smaller dough balls that are about 69 grams apiece, give or take a little bit. Don't try to be too accurate, you'll make yourself crazy. Just try to get them as close as you can. If you don't have a kitchen scale, you really should have one, but if you don't, just divide your dough into 10 equal portions. Once you've got the dough portioned out, roll it into a ball between your hands, flatten it into a little bit of a disc, and put it back in the original bowl until you're ready to roll them out. Once you have all 10 dough balls portioned out, cover them with a damp paper towel and let them rest for 10 minutes before trying to roll them out. After your dough has rested for 10 minutes comes the hardest part of this entire recipe, and that's rolling out your flour tortillas in a circular shape. Now, throughout the course of making this video, I've probably made 40 or 50 tortillas, and as you can see from the video, I'm still not very good at rolling them out in a circle. If you're not, don't stress. You're making them for yourself, for your family. They don't have to be perfect. You're not trying to win any sort of contest. The only tips that I can give you is try to work from the center out and roll equally on all sides. If they're not round, listen, there's no such thing as a tortilla police that are going to come to your house and arrest you for making non-round tortillas. Just do the best you can and be comfortable with the knowledge that you're making something awesome for your family. To cook our perfectly formed tortillas, we're going to place them on an extremely hot cast iron griddle or another pan that you can get really hot. Now once you place your tortillas on the griddle, you can't walk away. It happens pretty quickly. Bubbles will form filled with steam, and you need to just stay on top of it. Once one side is well cooked, turn it over and let the other side cook. Now, I like to push the air out of the bubbles so I can get a better cook on the rest of the tortilla. Be careful, those bubbles are filled with steam and it's very hot. So I also used a fork after I burnt my hands a couple times. After all the tortillas are cooked, put them in an aluminum foil pouch with a damp paper towel on the bottom and let the steam make them really flexible. Once that's done, you can use them for whatever you need tortillas for. Tacos, enchiladas, quesadillas, I don't care. The possibilities are endless. I used these to make some chicken enchiladas for my family for dinner. That's all we have time for today. Now you know how to make flour tortillas. You can see how super easy it is. All you need a little bit of time, a little patience, a little bit of heat, and you're good to go. Thank you so much for watching. I surely do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.